Welcome to this Tube Duel Original Explainer. Today, we are diving straight into the epic, amazing story of The Lord of the Rings. We're going to follow this magical tale from its very beginnings, taking a really close look at how the incredible world of Middle-earth actually works. We'll unpack the main story, talk about those iconic heroes, and even dig into the wild secrets hidden in its invented languages. You probably know these lines by heart. One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. These simple, kind of terrifying words perfectly set the stage for the entire story. They paint this crystal clear picture of absolute power, the ultimate clash between good and evil, and the really tough choices people have to make.
So here is our roadmap for today. We're covering the One Ring's origin, a fellowship of heroes, the two sides of Gollum, secret and dark languages, and finally, the legacy of Middle-earth. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The One Ring's origin. Now, this ring has a massive bloody history. It was forged in the fires of Mount Doom by the Dark Lord Sauron way back around the year 1600 of the Second Age. After being lost for centuries, it was literally pulled out of a river by a creature named Déagol in the Third Age. But tragically, his own friend Sméagol murdered him just to steal it and then hid away in the dark mountains. Eventually, this terrible, world-ending weapon passed all the way down to a peaceful, completely unsuspecting little hobbit named Frodo Baggins. But what is the ring, really? I mean, it's not just a fancy piece of gold. It is an object of pure, concentrated evil. Sauron made it specifically to control all the other rings of power and conquer the entire world. It actually holds a piece of Sauron's own dark spirit right inside it. So it's almost alive, you know? It's constantly trying to get back to its dark master by tempting and tricking literally anyone who carries it. Section 2. A Fellowship of Heroes. To go up against that kind of massive evil, J.R.R. Tolkien gives us a bunch of different types of heroes. We've got Aragorn, the returning king and this fierce, strong leader. Then there's Gandalf, the wise guide bringing the magic. You have Samwise Gamgee, the ultimate loyal companion who is just full of hope. And of course, Frodo Baggins, the reluctant hero. He's just an ordinary hobbit taking on an impossible job. Together, they prove that you definitely don't just need a huge sword to be a hero. Wisdom, hope, and true friendship are just as powerful. Just look at the crazy contrast between two members of this group. Boromir is a great human warrior, incredibly strong, super brave, but he wants to use the ring's power to fight the enemy. Because of that ambition, he completely falls to the ring's temptation and meets a really tragic death. Now compare him to Frodo. Frodo is small, ordinary, not a fighter at all. Yet, his pure moral goodness and his totally selfless wish to just destroy the ring to save everyone else actually help him resist its dark power. And then there's that incredible moment. In a room packed with powerful kings and mighty warriors, it's Frodo who stands up and says, "I will take the ring, though I do not know the way." This simple, incredibly brave choice is a huge lesson for us. I mean, he is absolutely terrified, but he steps forward anyway. It shows us that true courage so often comes from the most unexpected, ordinary people. Section 3. The Two Sides of Gollum. You know, the battle between good and evil isn't just armies clashing with swords. Sometimes it's literally trapped inside a single body. Meet Sméagol. He's the original personality, kind of like a regular hobbit who really just wants friends and someone to talk to. But then there is Gollum. This is the dark, twisted, nasty personality born from holding on to the evil ring for hundreds of years. Right inside his mind, the good Sméagol is locked in this constant, tragic fight against the bad Gollum. Now, the loyal friend Samwise Gamgee? Yeah, he doesn't trust this creature for a second, and he comes up with some funny but honestly perfectly accurate nicknames for these two competing minds. He calls the bad Gollum personality Stinker, and the sneaky, slightly better Sméagol personality Slinker. Sam watches them like a hawk because he knows Stinker would love nothing more than to betray them the second they fall asleep. But Frodo tries a totally different tactic. He actually uses the power of kindness. He speaks to the creature using his real, long-forgotten name, Sméagol. And because of this deep respect, the good Sméagol personality actually comes back for a short time. Frodo's empathy proves that every single character has free will. No matter how deep the darkness gets, there is always a chance to make a good choice. Section 4. Secret and Dark Languages. Okay, so this brings up a fascinating question.
Why are some entire languages in Middle-earth kept completely secret from the rest of the world? We really have to ask ourselves why some spoken words bring terrible fear, while others are carefully hidden away from outsiders. In Tolkien's world, language is definitely not just for talking. It's a very real, very dangerous symbol of power and culture. Take the Black Speech, for instance. The Dark Lord Sauron himself created this language to control his armies. It is so completely, utterly evil that just hearing it spoken out loud actually causes physical pain. There's that famous scene where the wizard Gandalf speaks it at a peaceful meeting, and the brave elves actually tremble and cover their ears because the words themselves carry the sickness of Sauron. It's literally a language built out of fear. Then, totally on the flip side, we have what's called an isolate language. This is a language with absolutely no connection to the languages around it. Think of Khazdal, the secret language of the dwarves. The dwarves are incredibly proud people, and they flat out refuse to teach Khazdal to outsiders, even to their best friends. They even keep their real, true dwarven names a total secret from the world. It's such a beautiful example of how a secret language can protect a group's entire cultural identity.
Section 5. The Legacy of Middle-earth.
So why do we still care so much about this old story today? Well, because it teaches us that the fight between good and evil is a personal choice that we all have to make every single day. It shows us that ordinary people really can change the whole world if they're just brave enough. It proves that true friendship and loyalty will always, always beat pure physical power. And it reminds us that our words hold deep, powerful meaning. As we wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with one final, big question to think about. If you found the One Ring, would you have the moral strength of Frodo, or would you fall to its dark power like Boromir? It is pretty much the ultimate test of character when faced with absolute power. Thank you so much for exploring Middle-earth with me today. And remember to always keep questioning the amazing stories all around you.